just keep me hanging on. And I deserve to stay. And I'll find my way. Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm your home. I wanna be with you always. Know you're not alone, 'cause I'm your home. Whoa. In the dark we fight. You take the wrong and you make it right. Like a firefly, you're glowing at night. So don't make it hard, don't let me go. I wanna hold you tight when you're cold. I'm waiting for your love, you just keep me hanging on. I deserve to stay. And I will find my way. I will find my way.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
Kiss me hard before you go. Summertime sadness. I just wanted you to know that baby, you the best. I got my red dress on tonight, dancing in the dark in the pale moonlight. Done my hair up real big, beauty queen style, high heels off. I'm feeling alive. Oh my God, I feel it in the air, telephone wires above, sizzling like a snare. Honey, I'm on fire. I feel it everywhere. Nothing scares me anymore. Kiss me hard before you go. Summertime sadness. I just wanted you to know, baby, you the best. I got that summertime sadness. Summertime sadness. Got that summertime sadness. Oh, 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 I'm feeling electric tonight, cruising down the coast, going about 99. Got my bad baby by my heavenly side. I know if I go, I'll die happy tonight. Oh my God, I feel it in the air, telephone wires above, I'm sizzling like a snare. Honey, I'm on fire. I feel it everywhere. Nothing scares me anymore. Kiss me hard before you go. Summertime sadness. I just wanted you to know that baby, you the best. I got that summertime sadness. Summertime sadness. Got that summertime sadness. Oh, 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 oh. Think I miss you forever, like the stars miss the sun in the morning sky. Made us better than ever, even if you were gonna try. I got that summertime sadness.
like out there, she was all that's on her. Yeah, red views gave it on the sun. Yeah, me back and make you all our own.
Trouble if they knew. I'm trying hard to make you see. All that you are is all that I need. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on, leave the lights on. The lights
Welcome back everyone to the SimZone. We're here for Division 3 of the GT3 Championship here on PlayStation, and tonight we are at Laguna Seca. Currently got a few qualifying lap times coming in. Baptista currently setting the provisional pole time of a 24.378, but he's got some traffic in front of him. I think he's not on a hot lap at the moment, so that won't matter for him. And Ms. Santos in the 25 Mercedes currently sitting in second, just 5.5 tenths off of that provisional pole time. He's got some work to do to catch up to Baptista. Then Milo in the 52 Ferrari. Ferrari's a good car around Laguna Seca. And definitely one of the top 3 cars to be driving around here, but the Bentley also a very good car at Laguna Seca, as is the Mercedes. So the top 3 currently are the strongest cars at the moment at Laguna Seca, but Porsches also currently sitting down in P9 and P13. Sergey, new driver here to the SimZone. Good to see that he's participating. He's on a hot lap at the moment. He's got some traffic behind him. He's got some cars behind him, but he doesn't have to move out the way. And that's, I think, that's Pepper Mellon, who's also a new driver to the SimZone. He's lost the car there coming through the corkscrew. I think that's going to be the place where a lot of these drivers are going to end up losing the car. And that's a really nice livery there. Haven't actually seen that before. And oh, he's tagged the sausage curb. But I think he may have to wait for the other drivers before he rejoins. Yes, he will. Let's see who's about to cross the line here. The number 12 car. There is no number 12, is there? No. We've got the number 13 car of SR Pada coming up towards the line. Let's see if he can improve. Cross the line now, he does. Still in P5 though, not enough to gain a position, and Milo puts it on pole position at 1:23.655. It's a good time there for Division 3. And I believe his first race here in the SimZone, and he's currently put it on provisional pole. But coming into this round, let's have a look at the standings quickly. So Baptista leading the championship on 249 points, followed by Miss Santos on 238. So just 11 points between the top two drivers, and they've qualified P2 and P3 at the moment. And then in third we've got Bion, who's in P4 at the moment in qualifying, who's on 230 points, so just 19 points behind the championship leader. So still, it's all to play for here coming into round 6. And for those that are watching, we do have Driver of the Day voting tonight for all divisions, I hope. And there should be a link for Division 3 in the comments. That will come up a few times, so make sure to check that out and vote for your Driver of the Day. But right now we're in quali, and Milo there, I think he's going to give himself some room. But Miss Santos has improved his time, 2.5 tenths then, and that's Baptista off the track. But we've got the number 52 car of... This is like I Spy. I can't even find... it's Milo. Yeah, it was Milo. Right, currently watching Baptista, who went off the track, so he won't be able to improve. Swiss Rolls is going to come across the line. Any improvement for him? There we go. Puts it over to P6, just 2 seconds off the provisional pole time. And SR Pada is currently in P6 as well, and the Nissan. I think the only Nissan out on track, but he's doing a good job at the moment. Just 1.8 seconds off. I think this will be the last lap for some of these drivers. I think the number 3 car, the number 3 Ferrari, will have one more lap as he crosses the line. And he's currently not on a hot lap at the moment, so he's come around at a good time here. Now we've got the 8 car of WRC Mad Max, who hasn't actually been able to put in a time yet. He's coming through the final corner. Could this be his first lap? Let's see as he crosses the line now. There we go, puts it into P11, 3 seconds off. But he's managed to put in a lap time, so he won't be starting last then. Now we've got the number 52 car once again, Milo, who is on a hot lap. Let's see if he can improve. Nope, no improvement there for Milo. Bion still in P4 on his last hot lap now. SR Pada, oops. SR Pada behind him as well in the number 13 Nissan. We've got the number 710 crossing the line, that's Swiss Rolls, who wasn't able to improve, so that's his qualifying session over. Miss Santos as well has finished his qualifying session, so that leaves not many cars out on track. Then who's the first car? That would be WRC Mad Max. Let's see as he comes through the corkscrew. There we go, nice and tidy through the corkscrew, not opting to take any of the curb on the second half. But let's see if he can improve here. The last sector looks to be tidy so far. Let's hope I haven't cursed him. Using all of the exit curb, coming up towards the final corner now. And he's held it together. Let's see if this is an improvement. Coming across the line now. There we go. Puts it up into P9. Good improvement from Mad Max. Then the number 12 car, Bion, puts it up into P3. So last minute there, last second. And he puts it into P3 there, just pipping Baptista to the top 3. But there you have it. Milo taking pole position. Miss Santos in P2, Bion in P3, and Baptista in P4. So that's your front 2 rows here for Division 3. And make sure to stay tuned because we'll be back shortly for the race. go then, onto the formation lap for Division 3. Track temp currently 16 degrees, and likewise is the ambient temp. Bit of cloud coverage, but nothing for these drivers to worry about with this track located in the middle of the desert. There's definitely not going to be any rain here tonight. But as we saw in qualifying, Milo with his debut race, I think, at the SimZone, taking pole position with the number 52 Ferrari, and Santos also lining up with him on the front row in the number 25 Mercedes. Then Bion and Baptista, both Bentleys, on the second row, and M. Ferrer as well in the Porsche, currently sitting in P5. I think that's his best qualifying session, qualifying result so far this season. The Porsche really showing its strengths then around Laguna Seca. You can see just the drivers trying to get temperature into their tyres. And while we're on the formation lap, just like to say big thanks to all our patrons who help cover the costs of servers and everything that is used for league racing. If you are interested in becoming a patron, there is a link in the description, so be sure to check that out. Here we go now, drivers lining up side by side, just preparing for the race start. There'll be radio silence now between their engineers, I think. So all they have to focus on is lights out. Let's hope we can get a clean start here at Laguna Seca. Laguna, not the easiest of tracks. It's super narrow, and even in pro racing we've seen quite a few collisions. So let's hope these Division 3 drivers can show us how it's done. As we come on to the start-finish straight now, who's going to give it the better jump coming into turn 1? Is it going to be Milo or is it going to be Santos? The Ferrari very good in at low speed. They cross the line now and we are green. Looks like Milo off to a good start, but likewise Santos with a very good start. Bion has jumped Baptista, and he's going to go very late on the brakes, try around the outside. He's going to be side by side with Milo. That means Santos is up into the lead, but looks like Milo, oh, he hasn't kept the position there. Bion has a nose up the inside, and let's see as they come through the third corner there. Looks like Bion's going to have to back out of the move. I think we've had someone off in the background. That's the number 28 car of Muzzy, who's in the background there. But apart from that, it looks like everyone else has got through clean. We've got 2 Mercedes going side by side, 3 Mercedes I think. But we're side by side here between Melon and Tom. And it looks like Melon's had to back out of that. Tom kicking a bit of the gravel on the exit. That's SR Pada who's lost the car somewhere, and he's going to be passed by a number of cars here. So he'll move down a few positions. Then I think he may be behind. No, I think that is where he is actually. So P11 for him. But let's go back to the battle for the lead. Santos still in the lead. The gap says 9/10, much less than that. Milo's been able to hold on here to P2. And Bion, likewise, in P3. Pretty much a 4-car battle for the lead. These 4 have broken away from the pack behind. Emferrer on his own at the moment. Hasn't really got to worry about the Devil's Son behind him. But look how close Tom and Lega. I think Tom has actually got past the number 3 Ferrari there, and he's looking to make a move on the Devil's Son just up ahead. But Muzzy now catching up to the back of this pack. XA17 has got a number of cars just in front of him. Mad Max, W and Tord. I think that's Swiss Rolls as well. Yes it is. So a 5-car battle down for... What is this? This is P... it's not Swiss Rolls, sorry, that's W. So a 5-car battle for P13. But back to the race lead. Santos has lost the lead of the race here to Milo. Milo's got past somewhere. Deltas only update every sector, so it's quite hard to keep track. But looks like coming through the corkscrew now Santos is going to have to defend from Bion very early on in this race. We're only 3 minutes in, and they're going to go on to their second lap. But this has allowed Milo to pull away nearly a second, I think, to these drivers just behind him. Bion's going to have a look up the inside, coming towards the final corner. Santos left in the room, and I think he's been able to hold on just about. No, they're side by side once again. Bion's got the better exit through the final corner. Now coming up towards turn 1, Bion's going to have the inside. Santos slightly ahead. Can he keep it around the outside? We shall see. Bion much later on the brakes, and a bit too late. That's allowed Santos up the inside, and he's got the position back there. Bion just kicking up a bit of the sand on exit. He's going to have another look down the inside on Santos, and he's got the move done. Good move there from Bion, and he's up into P2. Both the SVV drivers in P3 and P4. If the cameraman wants to pan over quicker, there we go. But this has really allowed Milo to break away from these drivers behind him. 2 seconds to Bion in P2. But let's look further down the field. Tom's had an accident there. As soon as we flick over to him, he's lost the car somewhere, and he's trying to get it going once again. He needs to be careful with rejoining, and he is, but I'm not sure who's made contact with. I think he may have just lost it on his own. It's very easy to do with the Mercedes through that corner, but there we go, side by side. Tom's gonna make it 3 wide here, coming up to the corkscrew. It's not ideal, but there we go. He's had to back out and just slot in, but he's made the move on I think that's the Devil Son who's dropped back slightly, and he's gonna have a look on Tord. He's gone around the outside, and Devil Son I think is gonna follow him through. Yes, he does. So both of them driving around the outside there of Tord in the number 666 Lamborghini. Muzzy up into P13, so it's good gains for him. Tord is now going to have to defend from XA17. He's currently running in P17, last position here, but I believe this would be his second race here at the SimZone. Let's go back to this battle then for P2. Bion's been able to pull a slight gap now to Santos and Baptista. So not a huge amount of battling going on between these three compared to the close battling on lap 1. Enfera running in a solid P6, but he's got SR Pada in number 13 Nissan very close behind him, coming up towards the corkscrew now. But Enfera has been able to hold on. Got a few more cars very close to each other. That's Pepper Melon and Sir Jake in the 911 Porsche. That's probably the best looking livery on the grid so far tonight. And there's also another battle going on further behind these two. That is Mad Max, Muzzy and Tom. Tom's made the move on Muzzy somewhere, so he's up into P13. And look at that, he's practically pushing his fellow Mercedes driver, Mad Max, through the final corner. He's going to have a look up the inside coming up towards turn 1, but Mad Max has defended the inside and moved back over to the racing line, and Tom's much later on the brakes there. Can he keep it together? Yes, he can. And Mad Max is going to have to settle for that position loss. So once again, a 5-car battle here for P11, and I think that is W off the track. He's made a mistake somewhere, so now he's joined in this battle. So he's got to worry about these cars behind him. So pretty much 6 cars, all line of stern, battling for what would be P10, I think now, or P9 actually. Sorry. So an amazing battle going here on Division 3. We're only 7 minutes into the race, but I think W doesn't have to worry just yet. That's Tom wide, almost losing the car, but he's kept it together somehow. And he's lost a position, I think. He may have lost... No, he hasn't got past Sir Jake yet. Still currently running in P11. Exiting the corkscrew. He's found some time there compared to the Porsche of Sir Jake. He's much more confident here. Is he going to have a look up the inside? No, he's not. Oh, yes, he is. A bit of indecisiveness there from Tom, but he's going to be on the outside for the final corner now. Possibly going to go for the switchback. and get the better exit. No, he's held it round the outside there. Sergej is going to hold the inside line coming down towards turn 1, but the Mercedes with the bigger engine is going to have the upper hand on this short straight coming down to turn 1. He's going to be later on the brakes, both in a fluorescent livery here, but no, Sergej doing a very good job at defending turn 1. Let's go back to the battle for P2 then. Miss Santos has made it up into P2. Bayon's made a mistake somewhere. We didn't quite catch that, but now he's in a sandwich, in an SVV sandwich, let's call it. And he's going to have a look up the inside coming towards the corkscrew once again. Miss Santos leaves him just enough room. And I think, oh, bit of contact, nothing major at all. And Miss Santos is going to have to settle for losing that position, but he's going to have to defend against Baptista, who's very close behind him. And surprisingly, Milo hasn't really been able to pull a huge gap to these three behind. The gap says 1.9, may have increased slightly after that battle into the corkscrew. Let's see what's across the line. 2.4, yes, it has increased. But Bayon now into clean air once again. He's got a slight gap to those behind him, so doesn't really have to worry. He's just going to be focusing on Milo up ahead. But M. Ferrer, SR Pada and Swiss Rolls in another battle here for P6. And that Swiss Rolls very late on the brakes there. SR Pada seemed to be a bit early on the brakes, but that's allowed Swiss Rolls to get a much better exit. He's got no room to go down the inside. SR Pada defending the inside there. And Swiss Rolls is just going to have to focus on the exit. Laguna Seca, like I said earlier, very narrow track, so difficult to overtake here. And it's just about focusing on the exit. But this has allowed M. Ferrer to open a slight buffer to the two drivers behind him. And that's going to give him some time to think, at least. And that's SR Pada very, very wide. Looks like he didn't even lift or brake there. So he's lost the position to Swiss Roll. That's an easy position gained for him. And now he's going to set his sights on M. Ferrer just up ahead. Let's look further down the field then. Looks like Pepper Melon. Oh, Pepper Melon's lost the car somewhere. And struggling to get it going. He's got no cars that he has to worry about at the moment. Oh, now he does. He's going to have to wait here to rejoin. And unfortunate for Pepper Melon there. Oh, and you can see in the background there is... who is that? I think that is that the Devil Sign? Yes, it is. No, it's a 606 car. Oh, that's Tord in the Lamborghini, who's lost the car there. We've seen a few drivers losing the car here. Seems to be one of the trickiest corners at Laguna Seca, bar the corkscrew. But that's unfortunate for him. And we've got the two McLaren drivers now battling out for P13, the Devil Sun and XA17 in similar liveries, coming down onto the 7th lap it would be for them. And XA17 a bit too far back to make the move into turn 1, but slightly different lines. We've seen this before on PC. That would be round 1, I believe it was, Laguna Seca. We've seen it before, drivers taking different lines into turns 1 and 2. Or turn 2 really. The Andretti hairpin it's called. But going up further towards the grid then, Miss Santos and Baptista have lost some time to Bayon. Bayon's been slowly closing in the gap to Milo just up ahead, and Baptista is eager to get this move done, but both from the same racing team. I'm not sure if they'd want to battle too hard really, but Baptista seems to have the pace advantage. He's lost some time on the exit there, and Miss Santos is going to have to defend for his life, but the gap at the top coming down just by a 10th. Milo with a 1.8 second gap is going to have to start worrying about Bayon very shortly, as Bayon is taking chunks out of that gap every corner here at Laguna Seca. But this seems to be the closest battle now that the grid has slightly separated, and Baptista has got the move done on Miss Santos before the corkscrew. So there we go, Baptista up into P3, and he can now focus on catching up. Bayern just up ahead. Milo's actually increased the gap to Bayern to 2.2 seconds. I think he's started to respond to the pace now, and to the pressure that Bayern may be putting on him in almost the second half of this race. As they cross the line to start the 9th lap. Tom into the pits. Has he got some damage? Possibly. He may have repaired it now, but we're not too sure. Milo opening a gap up once again, 2.4 seconds, and this has allowed Baptista to really, once he's got the overtake done on Santos, he's really caught up to Bayern here. The gap is less than a second between these two. 7/10, there you go, it's updated as we come into the second sector now. And Muzzy also into the pits. Has he picked up some damage? Doesn't look like it. Could be fuel maybe. Yeah, not sure what's happened to them. And make sure, if you haven't done so already, to vote for your driver of the day here for Division 3. There is a link in the comments to vote for your driver of the day. Looking further down the field then, XA17 and Devil's Son still battling it out here for P12. The Devil's Son doing a great job at holding XA off. Both of these drivers on similar pace, I believe, and similar liveries, so good to see. The Devil's Son were not the best of the races, but the McLaren not the strongest here at Laguna Seca. And it also comes down to the driver, whether you've got the right setup or not. And that brings me to just a quick plug here. Make sure to check out the SimZone setups if you haven't done so already. Got multiple 5-star reviews and drivers claiming that they've gained a second out of their best lap times just by using them, which is great to see. But XA17 still right on the back of the Devil's Son. And we go halfway into the race now. But XA17 not close enough to go for a lunge coming down towards turn 1. Looks like Bayern and Baptista very, very close coming through the corkscrew. Baptista is really putting on the pressure now in the second half of the race. But these two battling is going to give Milo up in front an even bigger buffer to these two. Coming towards the final corner then. Both drivers using a bit of the exit curb, and Bayern's going defensive now, coming up towards turn 1 already. Maybe trying to break the slipstream there. I'm not sure what he was trying to do, but he's not going to have to worry about Baptista coming towards coming down towards turn 2 now. The Andretti hairpin. And now up towards turn 3 and 4, which I believe don't actually have a name. I think a lot of the corners here at Laguna Seca without any names. Then I believe now they're coming up towards... Is this the Rahal Straight? Or is it the next one? Maybe the next one here. But Bayern doing a good job at defending Bentley versus Bentley. It's not easy to get past. Listen, especially when you're in the same car, you're going to be quicker and slower in the exact same places. It's much easier to battle with a different manufacturer. But Tom's still in the pits. Don't think he's going to go back out on track. I'm not sure what's happened to him, but back to this battle, and XA is that XA17. He's made a huge mistake, so is the Devil's Son. And I think they've both followed each other off the track there, just going slightly wide. And XA17 losing some time then to the Devil's Son. Tom's still in the pits, but look how close Baptista and Bayern are. Looks like Bayern's made a mistake there. Baptista up into P2. Bayern just picking up the exit curb, and losing the car there. It's too early on the throttle. Had two wheels, I think, on the sand as well, and unfortunately lost the car. So he's lost a number of positions to Baptista and Mizantos. But doesn't seem like there was any contact there. It just seemed like he ran a bit wide on the exit. You see his car in pristine condition. No damage on that number 12 Bentley whatsoever. And he's run wide once again. He needs to be careful here. I think he's just trying to push the car to its limit. But it's not easy to do with sand and gravel just surrounding you on the exits of pretty much every corner. Milo with a 3.4 second gap then to Baptista in P2. Let's go down to this battle, the battle of the Porsches. Sir Jake in P10 and Emperor in P11, both within a few tenths of each other. So we come up to go back up the hill now. Let's go on board here with Sir Jake quickly. There you go, on board with Sir Jake C and Farah very close behind, coming towards a corkscrew. And just reading the comments, there's Hoshi saying Rahal Strait is the one where the corkscrew is. Yep, there we go. I knew it was one of the two, but thanks for clarifying that. To the one before the corkscrew. As we come up towards the final corner then, Emperor's lost some time to Sir Jake here. Sir Jake, in his debut race at the SimZone, is slightly up on his time as he crosses the line now. There we go, 27.201, that's his best lap of this race he's just put in. And he's been able to hold off M. Ferrer for another lap, but I think he's gone very deep on the brakes. Ooh, slightly different lines it was coming into turn 2. And he's up once again on his time. So looking good here, and M. Ferrer has dropped back slightly. I think he went quite aggressive into turn 2 and had to compromise his exit. So that's where the time loss would have been. Let's go back trackside. Oops, let's go back trackside here. If I can even press the right buttons, that would be very handy. There we go. And Tom's still in the pit, so I don't think he's going to be coming back out on track. These two seem to be the closest battle on track at the moment. Gap at the top, still 2.8 seconds. I think it's slightly coming down. Now that Baptista doesn't have to worry about anyone either in front or behind him. But the top 4 quite spaced out, and Leg, we haven't talked about him much. He's running in P5 at the moment. He's had quite a quiet race, but a good position for him in number 3 Ferrari. And we may have a battle for P6 heating up. Swiss rolls, and that's M. Ferrer with a huge mistake there. He has to be careful. What's happened there? M. Ferrer looks like he lost the car somehow, and I think he may not have got on the brakes. I think he tried to recover it, but there we go, he's back on track, and he would have had a nasty hit with the wall, but somehow his car seems to be okay. It's quite hard to tell if he's got any damage or not. I think he does ever so slightly. But yeah, he's okay for now, and he's got the Devil's Son looking towards the outside. Is he going to be later on the brakes? No, Emperor holds the inside line. The Devil's Son's going to focus on the exit here. This is going to be a risky move if he goes up the inside, but no, he's going to sit there in P12. XA17 now into the pits. So not sure what's happened to him, but M. Ferrer with another mistake. Really not enjoying that Porsche here today. And he's lost the position to the Devil's Son. But like I said, this battle heating up. I think W's made a mistake because... No, Leg has made a mistake. He's down in P7 now, so 4-car battle between Swiss Rolls, SR Padda, Leg and W for P5. And was that SR Padda round? Yes, he made a mistake there. He's dropped 2 positions then to Leg and W. And the Nissan, not the easiest of cars here at Laguna Seca. Just bear with me 1 second. We've got W and that is Leg, very close, coming up towards the final corner. The gap at the top is coming down ever so slightly, 2.6 seconds, but with just under 7 minutes left to go, I think Baptista's going to have a hard time catching up and getting past Milo. And for those Division 2 drivers that are watching, driver briefing is in 2 minutes, so make sure to be prepared for that. And here we go. W still not able to get the move done on Leg. Leg was running in P5, I think it was, after his mistake. But these two battling, you can see SR Padder has really caught up once again to W and Leg, just up in front. Mad Max slightly behind, just running on his own at the moment, and Tord is into the pits. So 3 drivers in the pits now. Not enjoying Laguna Seca. Possibly picking up some damage somewhere in them. Not sure how M. Ferrer is still running out here on track with that huge collision with the wall. But his car seems to be okay. Now going back to the top 2, Milo has lost a lot of time to Baptista. The gap just 1 second between the two. This is going to come down to the wire now. Just 5 minutes left to go. Blue flags are being waved there for M. Ferrer just up in front. So he's going to have to give up the position or let these lead cars through on the start-finish straight. Or even coming up towards the final corner then. I think it's going to be the start-finish straight here for M. Ferrer. But Milo's going to want to get past as soon as possible. There we go, M. Ferrer moving out the way for Milo, and Baptista likewise. No, Baptista's lost some time coming through the final corner. Gaps back up to 1.4 seconds. It seems to be where Baptista is struggling, and through Sector 1 and Sector 2 is where he catches up. And Ferrer's going to have to move over. There we go. Let's Baptista through without any time loss really. And now back down to this battle. Leg has got W still very close behind him. Actually, no, what's happened to Leg? He's dropped back a few positions. He's made another mistake. You can see some damage on the front of that Ferrari. He's now all the way down in P8. Is that Mad Max up ahead? No, it's going to be P9. So he's lost another position to Mad Max. That will update once they cross the line. There we go. So Leg has made quite a few mistakes here, and his race has gone from bad to worse. Was running in P5 at one point, now down in P9. You can see just making a few mistakes here drops you back so many positions. Pepper Melon into the pits as well. Not sure why so many drivers are into the pits. No, they definitely won't be picking up points here if they don't continue out on track. But the gap at the top now increased back to 2 seconds. So I don't think Milo really has to worry, but he definitely can't rule out Baptista here. The gap between W and Swiss Rolls has increased actually. I thought it was about a second, but SR Padder's now caught up to the back of W, and he's doing an amazing job here in the number 13 Nissan. Good to see Torda back out on track. Peppermelon's still in the pits. So if Peppermelon doesn't go back out on track, he won't be picking up any points for this race either. I think he's about 2 laps down, he may be okay. But for XA, 17 and Tom, it may not be looking good for them. The gap at the top coming back down 1.4 seconds. It's bouncing between 1 and 2 seconds here. And there we go, Milo and Baptista crossing the line. There will be one more lap, I think. There should be one more lap. And SR Padder having a little look down the inside. I really love those rims on the Nissan. But he's gone slightly wide there coming through the penultimate corner. Slightly hindered his exit, but now they're actually catching up to Swiss Rolls. I think Swiss Rolls has made a mistake somewhere. Just look at that in the background. That's W and SR Padder. It's definitely not 1.9 seconds. It's down. Yep, there we go, 1.6. And oh, very, very close. SR Padder had a look up the inside, coming down towards turn 2. But W doing a good job at defending and just predicting the move on the inside. And now I think they're catching up to some traffic that is toward just up ahead. He's moving out the way of these two, so good to see there. Doing it on the straight just before the corner. This up-header still. Oh, he's gone wide there, and that's going to allow W to pull away slightly, coming up towards the corkscrew. So I think SR Padder's chances possibly for gaining that position have gone out the window. Where is Milo? They've actually got one more lap, so somehow they've just about squeezed in another lap here. And this will be the last lap for the lead cars. Baptista's dropped back, still 2.3 seconds. And if Milo can just bring it home here without any mistakes, he should be okay for the race win. And his first race win here at the SimZone. W, just a second to Swiss Rolls. The gap is really coming down, possibly less than a second. That's the concertina effect of W going very aggressive into turn 2. As we exit turn 3 now. Let's see what the delta is. 1.1 seconds, yep. Still roughly the same between the two Lamborghini drivers. Now towards turn 5, back up the hill once again. It's going to be difficult for W to get this move done. Swiss Rolls, as we've seen, has held off quite a few cars in the early stages of this race. And with this being such a narrow track, oh, we've got the leaders across the line there. Milo finishing in P1, holding off Baptista in P2. With Santos finishing in P3. So 2 SVV drivers on the podium. Bayon, after his mistake, finishing in P4. Swiss Rolls, still a few corners to go. Can he hold on here? I think he may be able to. He's going to go defensive. No, he's not. He's moved back over to the racing line for the final corner. Knows that W won't go for a move there. And there we go, Swiss Rolls finishing in P5 with W in P6 just behind him. And we've had some amazing racing here in Division 3. Very clean start. And that's what we expect for the next two divisions. SR Padder crossing the line in P7. WRC Mad Max in P8. And if you haven't voted for your driver of the day yet, please be sure to do so. We'll announce that once Division 2 starts. But Leg finishing in P9, Sergej in P10 with the Devil Sun just 2 seconds behind him. Sojek's going to hold on here to that position. And there he goes, they cross the line. There are your final results then. Milo, SVV Baptista and Miss Santos finishing in the top 3. So we'll be back shortly for the Division 2, so make sure to stay tuned.
There was a time when you had me falling to the ground, like a king without a crown. Whoa. Why you make it hard? Don't let me down. You might as well be lost, but I'm found. I'm waiting for your love. You just keep me hanging on, and I deserve to stay, and I'll find my way. Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm your home. I wanna be with you always. Know you're not alone, 'cause I'm your home. In the dark we fight. You take the wrong and you make it right. Like a firefly, you're glowing at night. So don't make it hard, don't let me go. I wanna hold you tight when you're cold. I'm waiting for your love. You just keep me hanging on. I deserve to stay, and I will find my way. I will find my way.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Kiss me hard before you go. Summertime sadness. I just wanted you to know that baby, you're the best. I got my red dress on tonight, dancing in the dark in the pale moonlight. Done my hair up real big, beauty queen style, high heels off. I'm feeling alive. Oh my God, I feel it in the air, telephone-wise above. I'm sizzling like a snare, honey, I'm on fire. I feel it everywhere, nothing scares me anymore.
On la garde, she was all that's on her. Yeah, red music gave it on the sun. Yeah, anybody can make you all her own.
Trouble if they knew. I'm trying hard to make you see. All that you are is all that I need. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on, leave the lights on.
Alright then, welcome back everyone for Division 2. And once again, same track, same everything. And oh wow, look at that time between Nino, Tobin and Hoshi. Exactly the same. 24.354, but let's see if Nino can improve as he crosses the line here. Flashing lights from Nino, but car in front. The Lamborghini of Armobic, oh I think that's Armobic, was it Cobb? No, it's Armobic. Doesn't have to move out the way, he's also on a hot lap. And no blue flags being waved at all. So Nino's best bet is to probably back off and make some space. But Rocco back in the pits. He's not got much time to set a lap here. Yeah, Tobin though puts it, improves his lap time at 1:23.241, almost into the 22s. And let's have a quick look at the driver of the day then from Division 3. And let's bring that up quickly. So let's refresh that. Here we go then, Swiss Rolls. We've got quite a few votes here. Swiss Rolls, Baptista and Milo tied on the driver of the day. Then the Devil's Son, Emperor, XA17, Sergej, Nisantos and Tord all on one vote as well. So there we go then, that's for Division 2. There will be, Division 3, sorry. There will be one for Division 2 in the comments shortly in the chat. So if you keep the chat flowing, it will show up. But we're only in quali here, so no need for that to show up, or no need to vote at the moment. Here we go, Nino Tobin has got some space now to the driver in front. But is it enough? Someone exits the pits. I think that's SVVKC, who's currently sitting in P3, 1.245 seconds off of Nino Tobin. But Nino on a different level here at the moment in the number 90 Porsche. I think the only Porsche here in Division 2. We saw a few in Division 3. But Nino with the only Porsche here in Division 2. Let's see who's about to cross the line. The 255 car of Diff is about to cross the line there. Still in P9, 3.3 seconds off of the provisional pole time. We've also got the number 15 car then of Hoshi coming through the penultimate corner then. Not using much of the exit curb. Now coming up towards the final corner. Looks to be a clean exit there from him, using all of the runoff possible. Is this going to be an improvement as he crosses the line now? Yes it is, 3/10, but not enough to gain a position on Nino there. So he's still 7/10 off. And now we've got the number 19 car of Nino rounding off the final corner here. And a very vibrant livery there, made by his other half, I believe, as he crosses the line now, and he does improve. The only driver to get into the 122s, just about. And I don't even think anyone in Division 3 did. So Nino Tobin definitely proving that he deserves this championship. And coming into this round, that leads us to the standings. So Nino Tobin leading the standings on 285 points, 63 points ahead of Tayson Tom, who had a DNF last round, and unfortunately he's not here with us for this round, so he'll be losing even more points. But Grimjaw as well, P3 in the championship on 179 points, so 106 points behind Nino Tobin, who also isn't here. But Hoshi, that leaves Hoshi in P4 on 165, just 120 points behind Nino, so this could see Hoshi up a few positions in the standings. But we shall see where he finishes in this race. And we saw there Nino Tobin with a mistake. We've got another car coming through the corkscrew. That's a 97 car of SVVKC with a mistake through the corkscrew. Can't actually see his car, and that's TTK round as well. So drivers really tried to push the car. That's a nice livery from TTK actually. I really like that colour, a bronzish looking colour on that number 14 Mercedes. But he's only got possibly, this may even be his last lap here. I'm not sure if he'll be able to improve or get to the finish line. But let's see who's coming across the line then. The number 5 car of Chem Candy. Good to see him back out on track. I think he did improve slightly there, 3.8 seconds off. And the number 22 car of Finn improves, puts it into P8. First time out, his debut race here as well. Good to see some new drivers here at the SimZone. Fox as well, a new driver, currently sitting in P5 in the 666 Bentley. And now the 255 car of Diff about to cross the line. Any improvement there for him? No. So he's sitting in P11. That's his qualifying session over. Number 14 car, that would be TTK, who unfortunately won't be able to improve. And SVVKC losing the car once again. You can tell he's just pushing the car too much, and that outside curb is absolutely devastating. So I think he's going to return that to the pits. Yes, he does. And back to Nino Tobin. He's rounding off the final corner then. coming up towards the start-finish line. Can he improve and just rub it in their faces? No. There's no improvement there for Nino Tobin. The number 23 car then of Cosmic Mike coming up towards the line. 3 seconds off. Is it going to be an improvement? Yes, it is. Putting it into P9. Good lap there from Cosmic Mike. And then we've got 2 cars left out on track. Kem Candy rounding off the final corner. 3.8 seconds off. He's been away from the wheel for some time, but let's see if he can improve. And yes, he does. Put it into P11 and the 22 car as well. Finn, no, still in P8 for Finn. So there we have it. Nino Tobin taking pole position. Hoshi lining up on the front row with him. SVV Casey and Rocco on the second row. So make sure to stay tuned because we'll be back in about 2 to 3 minutes for the race for Division 2.
Seconds.
go. Then 13 drivers lining up on the grid here for Division 2. I think there's someone off on the track already on the formation lap. You've got to be careful here. But with the amazing start in Division 3, don't think there was any contact coming into turn 1 and 2. Let's hope Division 2 can do the exact same here. Nino Tobin and Hoshi lining up on the front row. We've got Kingy in the comments saying, pardon me, Nino's other half is going to have to design him a new number and livery for Division 1 next season. Yes, Kingy has got the number 19 for Division 1, unless Nino becomes a patron, or one of you becomes a patron. That will allow you to secure your number and car for next season. But here we go then, approaching the final corner. Getting ready for the race start here. For Division 2. Approaching the start-finish line. Let's see who's going to get the better jump. Looks like Nino is slightly ahead here. As we cross the line now, and we are green. Looks like Nino has got a great start there, and he's already fended off Hoshi coming down towards turn 1. But SVVKC looking towards the inside. Hoshi's left the inside open, but he had no choice there. And SVVKC, starting on the left-hand side, has already got the jump coming into turn 2, and a very clean start from all the drivers here, which was great to see. And this is going to allow Nino now to pull away. SVVKC, after we saw in qualifying, had a few spins. He was really pushing the car, and unfortunately wasn't really able to put a hooker lap together. But look at that, Nino already with a 1 second gap. And we've only been a few corners into this lap. But currently watching SVVKC fending off Hoshi, Rocco, TTK, Cobb, and all the drivers are extremely close together in the opening lap of this race. But SVVKC's definitely got those two cars, Hoshi and Rocco, behind him, very close. The Lexus, not the best car at Laguna Seca, but Rocco is making it work. And I think for those drivers in Division 1, they may struggle with tyre wear on the Lexus. And with Laguna Seca being such a high tyre deg track, they may struggle if they don't change tyres. And SVUKC having to go defensive very early coming up towards turn 1. Hoshi's going to have a look around the outside. No, not close enough to get the move done. And SVUKC moves back over to the racing line, but he's going to have to leave room on the inside for Hoshi. And Hoshi, by doing so, by trying to go for the move, he did open up the door for Rocco there. So he has to be careful, because he doesn't want to lose a position when going for the move on SVVKC just up ahead. But Nino, in another league of his own, definitely deserves to be in Division 1 for next season, and he will be, because he is leading the championship currently here in Division 2. Looking further down the field, Fox, TTK and Cobb very close to each other. Here, I think that's Cobb. Yes, it is. Very close to each other, coming up towards the corkscrew. Very nice livery there from Cobb in the number 7 Lamborghini. But that's Fox gone very deep coming through the corkscrew, and I think he's going to lose the position. No, he's got the inside through this fast left-hander, and he's going to hold on to P6 here. Cobb had a look down the inside there through the penultimate corner, but he's just trying to put the pressure on to Fox, and this is going to allow the rest of the pack behind to close right up. You can see how close they are, pretty much from P7 to P13, all in contention for this battle. Let's go back up to this battle for P2, sorry. SVVKC slightly opening up the gap now to Hoshi and Rocco. Hoshi, after getting jumped off the start by SVVKC, hasn't really had the pace that he had in qualifying. He's got Rocco very close behind him. He's going to need to start thinking about defending. But we'll keep an eye on these three up front. The gap to Nino is staying around the same now, hovering around 1.6 seconds. We'll go down to this battle now for P5 Yep, P5, TTK, Fox and Cobb. What's happened to Cobb actually? I think Cobb's dropped back slightly. No, he hasn't. Oh, we'll wait for the drivers to cross the next second line. There we go, he's in P6. So he's still behind TTK. TTK with a huge mistake there through the corner. I think Cobb was round as well. That's number 7 car. Yes, Cobb has made a mistake coming through the corkscrew. I think someone else has followed him off as well in the exact same place. That would have been Diff. Both drivers getting a bit too early on the throttle coming through the corkscrew and losing the car there. Cobb coming off worse. And he's all the way down behind Diff then. I think they are running P11 and P12 respectively. And that's Neps in P13 as well. But yeah, we didn't see that mistake in Division 3, but unfortunately the drive's so close in Division 2, it's happened, and I think it's inevitable for one of the drivers to make that mistake coming through the corkscrew, and that is the McLaren of Finn going wide there coming into turn 3, on the exit of turn 3, sorry. He's going to have to be careful of Kem Candy, who's very close behind him. Obviously got the better exit, and let's see the camera panning over. It's very slow here. I think that cameraman should be fired from the job, but there we go. Kem Candy had a look up the inside, but back over to the racing line now, coming up towards the hill. Now onto the Rahal straight, up towards the corkscrew. Kem Candy wasn't able to capitalise on Finn's mistake. He was a bit too far back on the exit of turn 3, but he's definitely in for attacking range now, coming through the corkscrew. And there we go. There should be a link in the comments shortly for the driver of the day for the Division 2. For the 21 people watching. Actually, before I say that, I thought Kem Candy was alongside there with Finn. But once again, he's just showing himself in the rear view mirrors of Finn. Really putting on the pressure here in the early stages of this race, trying to get the move done. And Finn, a new driver here to the SimZone, is really going to be feeling the pressure. Obviously not accustomed to racing in this environment. This would be quite new for him, but Diff very close to Cobb after both synchronized spinning into the corkscrew. But back to this battle, look how close Kem Candy is to the back of Fox. Let's actually go on board here with Kem Candy. Let's see if we can get a good angle. Oh, and that's as soon as we're about to go on board, that is Fox wide, and I think he's lost the car as well. So we'll go back track side, and unfortunately, let's see if he's hit the wall. Let's hope he hasn't. Oh, sorry, no, that wasn't. I was talking about the wrong person then. Kem Candy's down in Kem Candy's down in P9, still battling with Finn. That was Fox and Lamborghini. I think that was Cobb, who's retired from the race then. And unfortunate to see, but he's not enjoying Laguna. But yeah, not good to see retirements here out at in Division 2. But Finn still defending from Kem Candy. Got my battles mixed up, and there's so much going on the grid. It's quite hard to keep track, especially when you're alone here. And Finn doing a good job at holding off Kem Candy. Now we can go on board here with Kem Candy. There we go, on board with Kem Candy now. Still within a few tenths of Finn, just up in front. Kem Candy is up for an improvement on his best lap. A bit of a slide there from the McLaren up in front, but just using the slip angle to get as much exit speed as possible. Now coming up towards the Rahal straight, the McLaren using a lot more exit runoff than the Bentley of Kem Candy. That's going to help his exit speed. The Bentley, a very good car here at Laguna Seca. Slightly different lines once again between the two. I think a bit of latency issues here for Kem Candy. He's lost some time there Or it looks like he lost some time. But it's definitely latency issues for the two. Coming towards the final corner then, this could be Kim Candy's quickest lap. Both using enough exit curb. And this is possibly going to be a low 26 for Kim Candy. Crosses line, there we go, 26-2 Kim Candy, but no match for the leader, Nino Toblin, lapping in the 22s and 23s. It's already opened up a 4-second gap then to SVVKC up in front. And unfortunately we've had another retirement here this race. That is Neps in the McLaren, who's retired from the race. So unfortunately another retirement from Nept. But look how close Kim Candy is. He's going to have a late look up the inside. Finn's going to have to leave in the room, but Finn holding around the outside, still keeping it within the track name. It's very good defending there from Finn. Let's get a quick replay of that. And Kim Candy with a good opportunistic move, but unfortunately didn't come off well. Well, didn't work for him. And he's going to have to settle back for P9. Now Hoshi scored right up to the back of SVVKC. We saw these two separated a bit. And Rocco 2.5 seconds behind these two. Now the battle for P2 continues. Just under 20 minutes left of this race. It's going to be a long 20 minutes here for SVVKC because Hoshi has found his groove. He's found the pace that he had in qualifying, and he's gone deep on the brakes. And as soon as I say that, commentator's curse, he's made a mistake. So he's going to lose some time then to SVVKC up in front, and Rocco is really catching up to these two. It's less than 2.7 seconds now to Hoshi up in front. We'll see when they cross the next sector line. There we go, 1.8 seconds as they enter the third sector. So he's really making some gains here in the later stages of this race. Fox has made a mistake, I think, because TTK, the gap did say 4 tenths. He's definitely made a mistake. It's now 3 seconds between the two. Coming onto the Rahal straight, that left-hander, very blind corner, is so easy to run wide on, and I assume that's where he's made the mistake. So he's got some work to do then to catch back up to TTK, but Finn and Kim Candy super close once again. I think this has allowed Armobic in P10 to catch up, so a 3-car battle now for P8. Let's go on the rear view wing cam here of Finn coming up towards the final corner now. Kim Candy's going to have to be careful here, because if he goes for a move, or he looks for a move on Finn, he's going to open up the door to Armobic behind. So you need to take a different line, possibly around the outside, coming down towards here, turn 2. No, he's going to have a look up the inside, back over to the outside then, going for the later apex, focusing on the exit. But with Laguna Seca in such a narrow track, he's not really able to make anything of it at the moment. Now this could be a good lap here for Finn as well, coming back up towards the hill. These three, as it were, Finn in P8, Kim Candy in P9, and Finn's made a mistake there. He's going to lose the position to Kim Candy. Armobic followed him off, but I think Finn may be able to hold on coming up towards the corkscrew. Yes, he is. And Kim Candy, with the consistent pressure, has paid off and forced Finn into a mistake then. So he's going to drop down into P9. There we go, it's already updated for us. And now it leaves just Finn and Armobic to battle it out in P9 and P10. Going back to these two, Hoshi's lost some time to SVVKC. These three, second, third and fourth, all separated by a second to each other. So just neutralising each other at the moment. These two seem to be the closest on track, Finn and Armobic. Armobic losing some time to Finn then, coming down towards turn 2. And that's Armobic very late on the brakes, very deep into the corner. Don't think he's actually lost much time though. He may have gained. We'll see once they cross the next sector line as they come into sector 2 now. Armobic very loose on the exit, but he's managed to hold it together. And I think that would have lost him that 10th there, so 9 tenths between these two. And Hoshi has made a huge mistake somewhere. SVVKC is 15 seconds up in front. And I think Rocco, likewise. What's happened to these two? And we've got a car off in the corkscrew. This is number 14 car, TTK. He's made a mistake. And luckily, I don't think he's hit the wall. He's just kept it out. There's no damage on the front of his car. There is a bit on the rear. And that may be what's unsettling him through the corkscrew. Some rear diffuser damage as well. But still running in, I think. No, he's down in P6 now. So he's lost the position. And he's got Cosmic Mike in front of him. Cosmic Mike with a good race up into P6 from the start. But look how close Hoshi and Rocco are. Rocco's got past Hoshi. So Hoshi, after qualifying on the front row with Nino Tobin, has dropped all the way down to P4. So not the best of races for him.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
But he's still going to pick up some good points nonetheless. Just come back up the hill now for the 10th time here. And for some reason the drive of the day voting hasn't worked in the chat, so I'm just going to put that in now. There we go, Division 2 voting for your driver a day is in the comments now, so make sure to check that out. Kenny in the comments saying Nino for Division 1 next season. Yes, he definitely will be. Top 3 from Division 2 get promoted up to Division 1, and the bottom 3 from Division 1 get demoted to Division 2, and likewise for Division 3 as well. Same principle applies, but back to this battle. Finn and Armobic very, very close. Armobic keeping in tabs with Finn. Finn really hasn't been able to pull away after making that mistake coming up towards the Rahal Straight it was, I believe, when he lost the position to Chem Candy. Let's go on board here with the Lamborghini of Armobic. Little wiggle on the exit there, bit unstable, and you can see how much time he's lost. He's lost about 3 tenths there to Finn just up in front. He's going to have to find that once again. But coming up the hill towards Sector 3, he seems to be much quicker than the McLaren up ahead. You can see he's gained all that time he lost. And Finn taking a slightly different line, much later on the brakes though compared to Armobic coming up towards the corkscrew. Different lines once again, and the Lamborghini slightly bottoming out there. Missing the apex on the inside, and that's going to hinder his run coming down towards the penultimate corner. Much later on the brakes, and I think he may have gone a bit too late. And you can see he's just trying to push the car, find the limits of the car here in the second half of the race. And he's got a nice exit, but likewise has Finn. And I think their gap's going to be about the same coming down towards Turn 2 then. This little kink coming on the start-finish straight is classed as Turn 1, and then here we go, this hairpin, I believe it's the Andretti hairpin, is Turn 2. And a lot of these corner names here, corners here at Laguna Seca have no names, which is quite odd. I think someone better give them some names at some point. So let's go back trackside then. Looks like TTK has closed back up. Oh no, as soon as we switch to him, he's going to lose the position to Chem Candy as well. He was 6 tenths to Cosmic Mike. And now he's going to have, that would be Finn and Armobic on the back of him. So quite a few mistakes here from TTK. Now he's got some damage on the front of that number 14 Mercedes. He's going to have to go defensive here coming towards the penultimate corner. But that rear diffuser damage, you can see it really not helping with the stability of his car. Oh, he's had a bit of latency there. Latency issues. And that's Finn slightly wide, kicking up a bit of the sand on exit, but he's kept it together. And now Armobic's going to have a look coming down towards turn 2. Finn slightly too far ahead. He's much later on the brakes. They're a bit too late, I think. Armobic, no, not able to capitalise on that just yet. So these three still battling out. Chem Candy catching up to Cosmic Mike then. 2.2 seconds is the gap. You can see there the Ferrari of Cosmic Mike just up the road. And Hoshi dropped down to P5 after quite a few mistakes, unfortunately. Here we go, then Finn and TTK coming side by side up towards the corkscrew. And Finn has got the move done even before they enter the corner. It's a good job there by Finn. And TTK losing another position. He's got Armobic now directly behind him. And slightly defensive there, coming towards the penultimate corner. That may just be the normal line he takes, and Armobic is going to have a look. No, he's not. He's going to have to back out of that. Oh, contact between the two. Armobic slightly too late on the brakes, and he's going to have to wait for him there. But good sportsmanship from Armobic, definitely unintentional. And fortunately those things happen in racing, but they continue here. And I think that's the first incident we've had between two drivers in Division 2. But they've both lost time to Finn just up ahead. Chem Candy closing the gap to Cosmic Mike, 1.8 seconds then, and he's got 9 minutes after the race, so plenty of time. Catching up is one thing and overtaking is another. So we shall see if Chem Candy can get past with possibly the biggest and heaviest car on the grid at the moment, the Bentley. Lexus is also up there with it. But Rocco and SVVKC, 17 seconds. And that's Rocco very deep through the final corner there. But look how much of a lead Nino Tobin has. Wait for them to cross the next sector line so it updates. But he hasn't put a foot wrong, and he's definitely going to be 17 seconds. There we go, nearly 18 seconds. He's definitely going to be a good contender next season in Division 1. And he definitely deserves it after the dominant performance here. Still got 8 minutes left to go, but I think he's got enough of a buffer even if he makes a mistake. And Armobic and TTK, once again, these two are the closest cars on track at the moment. We'll keep an eye on the deltas between Fox in P4 and Hoshi in P5, and between Cosmic Mike and Chem Candy. Those could be a few battles that may heat up towards the final few laps of this race. And TTK's made another mistake there, caught the exit curb coming out of turn 4, I believe, and he's going to have some more damage on the front of that Mercedes. He really seems to be struggling here today, and Nino Tobin there coming around to lap TTK. And look at that, I think that's severe damage on the front of that Mercedes then. But let's see if he can drive through the damage. He may pit, but he's definitely not happy with himself, I think. And unfortunately he's dropped back down to P11, so Diff has got past as well, up into P10. It's quite a nice livery there. So different shades of green. But look at the gap between Hoshi and Fox now. It's come down to less than a second. definitely will be once they cross the next sector line. You can visibly see it's less than a second now, coming back up towards the hill. And Hoshi's going to have a hard time overtaking this Bentley. He's just showing himself in the rearview mirrors there of Fox. And there we go, TTK into the pits, and Fox has run slightly wide. He has to be careful, coming back on track. And I think he just lost control of the car there, but Hoshi anticipated that. And he says thank you to that position. That was easily done. Up into P4, Fox I think may have hit the wall there. Just got going once again, but now Cosmic Mike is closing in at a rate of knots coming up towards the corkscrew. This is going to be another battle heating up. And another mistake there slightly, I think, for Fox coming through the corkscrew. But Cosmic Mike could be looking to gain another position here towards the final few minutes of this race. He's got some damage on that Ferrari, but he's been driving through it very well. And he's been keeping consistent. He's going to have the slipstream, the toe, coming down towards turns 1 and 2. Is it going to be enough? Let's see. I think he's a bit too far back to go for a lunge there, braking earlier than Fox just up in front. Bentley driver more confident on the brakes then, coming into turn 2. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to vote for your driver of the day. The link is in the comments at the moment. Cosmic Mike with a mistake there, but he's kept the car together and continues on. Lost some time to Folkestone. You can see in the background Kem Caddy was actually catching these two, but now the gap 2.8 seconds. Let's see if it's come down ever so slightly. 2.7. So still not been able to close the gap to them in the final few minutes of this race. But apart from that, I think Cosmic Mike and Fox are the two closest on the grid. We're coming up towards the start finish line for, I believe they are on the 18th lap at the moment. Fox now pulling away from Cosmic Mike, 1.7 seconds between those two. Kem Candy actually brought the gap down to 2.2. We'll see if that's just the concertina effect of the braking coming down towards turn 2, or if he's actually caught up 0.6. I think he may have actually, and we've got a car off, number 14. That is TTK off once again, and he's really struggling with the car. Mercedes here at Laguna Seca. He has to be careful with rejoining, and he's going to get going now once again. He's going to have to let the leaders through. That is Hoshi, I believe, who's just gone through in the number 15 McLaren. Yes, it is. But it's been a nightmare of a race for TTK. At least he's going to finish this race in P11, and you pick up some points here for round 6 at Laguna Seca. Having a look at Nino Tobin. Just go on board with him for a lap, shall we? Let's see how he takes the circuit here at Laguna Seca. Definitely don't want to miss this. As we're about to coming through the pardon me, coming up to the final few corners. We'll see once he starts the next lap. Get a good idea of how he takes the circuit. I think that's Armobic moving out of the way. Yep, good job there by him. Nino coming through now, crossing the start finish line. Last lap was a 1:23.5, and very late on the brakes, coming to turn 1, trail braking, then getting the car turned in nicely. The Porsche can do that at this circuit, and at low speed circuits Porsche really does excel. Using a lot of the inside curb there coming into turn 3, and a bit on the exit, staying on the exit curb coming into turn 4, and very early on the power, using the full width of the track here. Now on the brakes, I think he may have outbraked himself slightly. No, he seems to be okay. Using the exit curb now, coming up towards the blind left hand. You can see how blind it is. And there we go. Very early on the power is Nino Tobin. You can do that in the Porsche. Up towards the corkscrew now, using the curb on the left, keeping it tucked in. Now back down, not using a lot of the curb on the right hand side, which can unsettle the car. Now through this long sweeping left hander. I believe that is Finn letting Nino through. So good job by the back markers. And you can just see how consistent Nino is, using all of the track here, not really making any mistakes. A good exit there from Nino, but not using much of the exit curb. There we go, crosses the line to set at 124.3. This is the final lap here for Nino Tobin, or for everyone really. Just go back track side then. Looks like Fox, Cosmic Mike and Chem Candy are very close. Chem Candy's actually closed the gap now to these two in front, but with this being the last lap, well, they're not actually on the last lap yet, they've still got a bit to go, but they're running out of time to make some moves. Chem Candy's lost some time to Cosmic Mike up ahead. Cosmic still a second to Fox. But yeah, they're running out of time, running out of corners to get their moves done. Where is Nino on the track? He's coming up towards the final sector. Let's have a look at him, as he will be finishing the race here in P1. Outstanding performance from Nino, and I'm definitely sure the livery's got something to do with it. Coming through the penultimate corner now. Hasn't put a foot wrong now through the final corner. Nino Tobin onto the start finish straight there. I think he's disabled the TC. Flash of lights from him. Very happy with that result. Absolute dominant victory once again. Finishing in P1. SVVKC has got a few more corners to go. Coming up towards the final corner now. Finishing in P2. Good race from him as well, with a hard fought battle with Hoshi and Rocco at the start. There we go, flash of lights from him as well, finishing in P2. Rocco then is coming up to the final corner, finishing in P3. There we go, across the line in P3, good result from Rocco. Hoshi, not the best races he's had. Started on the front row with Nino Tobin. P4, still a good result for him. Crossing the line then in P4. Fox, who's still got Cosmic Mike about a second back. He's got one more corner to hold on to this position. I think he's going to here. Just needs to take it easy. There we go. Fox finishing in P5 then. Good result from him. Good result from Cosmic Mike as well in P6. Chem Candy in P7. Finn in P8, Amobic in P9, Diff in P10, TTK in P11, and we've had two retirements from Nets and Cobb. There we have it then, your top three: Nino Tobin, SVVKC and Rocco. Let's quickly have a look at the Driver of the Day results from Division 2. Bear with me a second while I get this up. You can see then, just doing some donuts on track. But let's get the Driver of the Day results up. And there we go then, Cosmic Mike taking Driver of the Day, tied with SVVKC, both on 3 votes. Nino Tobin on 2, Rocco on 2 as well, Finn on 1, Chem Candy on 1, and Nets also on 1, who actually retired. But there we go then. That is your race for Division 2. Now we're on to Division 1 next, so make sure to stay tuned because we'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes.
There was a time when you had me falling to the ground like a king without just take the wrong and you make it right. Like a firefly, you're glowing at night. So don't make it hard, don't let me go. I wanna hold you tight when you're cold. I'm waiting for your love, you just keep me hanging on. I deserve to stay, and I will find my way. I will find my way.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
kiss me hard before you go. Summertime sadness. I just wanted you to know that baby, you're the best. I got my red dress on tonight, dancing in the dark in the pale moonlight. Done my hair up real big, beauty queen style, high heels off. I'm feeling alive. Oh my God, I feel it in the air, telephone wires above, assisting like a snare. Honey, I'm
like I then she was all that's on her. Yeah, credit views gave it on the sun. Yeah, anybody can make you all her own.
We're in the dark, it's getting late. You should go, he's waiting for me. We both know it's not what it seems. We both know what's between the sheets. What would they say? What would they do? Would it be trouble if they knew? I'm trying hard to make you see. All that you are is all that I need. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep You always want what you can't have, and what you have you can. Still my heart, the moment I laid eyes on It's another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. And we just slow down. For you and I are safe and sound. We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. Can we just slow down? And we can slow waste another day. I don't wanna play. You say we need a change, and feel that you mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online. It's not like we need them. Safe and sound.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds chirping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah.
Here we go then, back for Division 1 of the PlayStation GT3 Championship. 15 cars lining up on the grid here for tonight. We've just started our qualifying session. No one's put in a lap time as of yet. Most of them are on their out laps or on their hot laps now. I'm just going to set a banker lap, and the first car who was out on track was Viper 2010, who's coming up towards the final few corners here at Laguna Seca. We will have driver of the day voting for Division 1 as well. The link will come up in the chat. If you viewers keep it moving, keep it flowing, put something in the chat, and the link will automatically appear at some point during this race. But if there we go, first time of tonight, a 125 8 or 9 I think it was. Melvin's just topped that now with a 124.534 in the 997 Lexus. The Lexus not the best car here at Laguna Seca. Ferraris are going to perform well, as will the Bentleys and Porsches. Got one Mercedes out, two Mercedes out on track actually. That's SVW and Slow Wolf. And Mercedes very good at Laguna Seca. Also, Zeus up into P2, just 4.6 tenths off of that provisional pole time set by Melvin. But we've seen 23s, 22s in Division 2. I think the only driver to get into the 22s was Nino Tobin. So we're definitely going to see times tumbling down here towards the end of this qualifying session. Although track is only fast, but I think they'll still be able to just dip into the 22s here, or at least the 23s. Let's see who else is about to cross the line then. The number 10 car of Viper is going to cross the line. There we go, puts it on provisional pole, 123.862. The first driver to break into the 123s. We've also got the number 67 about to cross the line. I believe that's Kenny. Where is the 67 car? There it is. About to cross the line. There we go, puts it into P13, 2.6 seconds off. Just a banker lap then, I assume, from Kenny. Also the 6, 7, 8 car of Zeus about to cross the line. There we go, puts it into P1, 123.733, just a tenth quicker than Viper. Rapid Duck, new to the SimZone as well. He's currently sitting in P9 with a navy blue Bentley there. We've also got the number 19 car, that's Kingy, about to cross the line here for just 5 tenths off pretty much. And no improvement there from him this lap. You can see Deedee there just exiting the pits, looking to improve his lap this time around. But number 48 as well, Rapid Duck about to cross the line. There we go, put it into P7, 8 tenths off of the provisional pole time set by Zeus. But look how close it is at the top. Just 100th between Hanrahan and Zeus, the two Audi drivers taking the top two positions here in qualifying so far. And then Letty in the Bentley just 600ths behind as well. So the top three all within a tenth at the moment, but I'm sure that's going to open up quite a bit as we get later on into this qualifying session. Track temp is 24 degrees here at Laguna Seca, and no cloud coverage at all. That's a McLaren into the wall. I think that might be Pinocchio. Yes, it was, and he's returned it to the pits then. He's got plenty of time to put in a lap here. We've got if I can get my words out, we've got Jan, Paul, Mitch and Cosmic Mike showing their support for Kenny, and Jan also showing his support for Deedee in the comments there. But there we go, Kingy now putting it on provisional pole, 123.427. There we go, 3 tenths quicker, and there we go, instant reply from Lely. Just under a tenth quicker with a 123.328. Look how close it is between the top two. There's just fractions of a second, fractions of a tenth here to find for some of these drivers out on track. And that's Viper up into P3 now, crosses the line. The 97 car of Ethan about to cross the line now, puts it, no, still in P6. And Melvin in P7 with the Lexus hasn't really been able to get up the order here. Highest Lexus currently is Viper sitting in P3, but Melvin, I believe, hasn't had any practice tonight, or little practice. Now we've got the 678 car of Seuss crossing line. There we go, he puts it on provisional pole once again. Look how close it is at the top. And 123.322, 6 thousandths quicker than Lely. This is an extremely close qualifying session. The top 6 all within 5/6 tenths of each other. Fresh Kingy putting it in the pits, then possibly wants to save his tyres. These drivers only have 2 tyre sets to last them the entirety of practice quality and the race. Lely with no improvement this time around. 36 car then of Deedee about to cross the line. Let's see if he can go for an improvement. He does improve, but wasn't able to get a position that time around. Then we've got the number 10 coming through the final corner. That's Viper. 2.3 tenths off. Let's see if this is an improvement for him. Crosses the line, and it is. Puts it into P3. 6 hundredths off now. Top 3 once again separated by a tenth. Oh, within a tenth. And that is absolutely unbelievable. Kingy wants to go back out on track to improve that time. Bubbles in the pits, currently sitting in P11. He's had some time away from the wheel, so and possibly not any practice for tonight. But the 67 car and the 678 car crossing the line, both not on a hot lap at the moment. Quite a few drivers possibly invalidating their times. You can see on the mini-map in the bottom right, all the blue dots means that they are not on a hot lap here. Viper is coming up to Deedee, who has possibly invalidated his lap. He may have to move out of the way shortly. Yellow flag's being waved for some reason. And oh, Viper's made a mistake coming through the corkscrew. I think he went a bit too deep there. And we've seen a similar thing happen in Division 2. Synchronized spinning in Division 2 we saw with 2 drivers. And I think it may be a possibility for the Division 1 drivers as well, when they're pushing the cars to the absolute limit. We've got a car off in turn 2. That's the number 15 car of Pinocchio. Still not able to put in a lap time. Seems to really be struggling here tonight. But he's still got time then to put in a lap. Let's see who the next car on a valid lap will be. It is Kenny, who is currently sitting in P14, coming through the final corner then. Let's see if this is going to be a good lap for him. Seuss into the pits. Kenny crosses the line now. There we go, puts it into P9. That's more like it from Kenny, 1.5 seconds off the pace. And he's definitely got some more time to improve. Pinocchio back out on track. You can see him there just exiting the pits. Who else is about to cross the line? Everyone else on invalid laps. I think Melvin has just crossed the line there, the championship leader. We actually already talked about the championship standings, so let's have a look at them very quickly. So coming into this round then, we have Melvin, also known as Ron, 71C and 76 Mel, 97. That's a bit of a mouthful, but he's leading the championship on 276 points, followed by Viper in second on 221 points, 55 points difference between the top 2, and then Lely in third on 201 points, so a 75 points gap to Melvin in P1, only 20 points to Viper in P2. So the battle for P2 is definitely still on in the championship. And Kingy as well in P4 in the championship, just 4 points behind Lely, sitting on 197 points there. So very close at the top, and it's all to play for coming into round 6. Here we go. We've got the number 43 car crossing the line, and we're just currently still on board with Kenny as he crosses the line. Now it doesn't seem like there was any improvement there from him. Number 15 car crossed the line. That is Pinocchio. That was his outlap, so this is going to be his first. His first hot lap out of the pits. Running a bit wide there, taking a bit of the sand, but he's still okay here. Using a lot of the curb on the outside, getting the car through nicely. And the top three still all within a tenth to each other. Absolutely unbelievable. You can see how close the top drivers here are at the SimZone. And it varies per track really. You usually see Melvin up there, but Lexus hasn't really been in his favour, and with little to no practice, he hasn't really been able to get it up the order. Bubbles into P9. Pinocchio seems to have got this lap clean. He's got a few more corners to go. Let's hope he can keep it together here. And a bit of a slide there on the exit. Needs to be careful on the throttle. But he's still going to be able to set a time there. That's Kenny off the track, I think. And he needs to be careful coming on. That was a bit dangerous there from Kenny. Not good to see. But not sure if that compromised Pinocchio's lap at all. So as he crosses the line now, there we go, his first lap time. It's 3 seconds off at the moment. And he's got possibly just one last chance. 1 or 2 laps to improve now. Zeus and Viper into the pits then. And the top 8 all within a second. Look at that. Melvin improves up into P6, 4.2 tenths off of the pole time then. And then we've got a car in the wall. That is the number 43 from Slow Wolf in the wall, unfortunately. I assume he's going to return the car to the pits then. Let's go to the number 36. I believe that's Deedy. Yes, it is. Coming through the final corner then. Onto the start-finish straight. 1.4 seconds off. Not much as he crosses the line now. And he did improve by 2 tenths there, but not enough to gain a position. Now we've got the number 19 car. That is Kingy. Just a tenth off. Still hasn't been able to find any time. Crosses the line now. And there we go. Puts it on to pole position there. 122.947. The only driver to get into the 122s. And if I haven't mentioned yet, he is using the SimZone Bentley setup. So be sure to check them out, because it has proved to put people on pole position. And I don't think anyone is going to get as close to that. The only 2 drivers really... only 2 drivers really in contention, I think, would be Lely and Viper, or even Melvin down in P6. But Lely at the moment coming up towards... We've got Melvin crossing the line. Where does he put it? Puts it up into P5. That's his qualifying session over. But Lely coming through the final corner. Could this be it for him? Let's see. Coming up towards the start-finish line now. And he crosses the line. And no improvement for Lely. So Kingy once again taking pole position with a 122.947. Zeus lining up on the front row with him. Lely and Viper on the second row. But make sure to stay tuned, because we'll be back shortly for the race, the final race of the evening here at Division 1. Here we go then, back on the formation lap for Division 1 drivers, just lining up side by side then, approaching the end of their formation lap, and as we saw in qualifying, Fresh Kingy just at the end, taking pole position, 3/10 quicker than anyone else. And Seuss lining up in the front row with him, Lely in P3 and Viper in P4 on the second row. So 3 manufacturers here on the top 2 rows, Bentley, Audi and Lexus. You wouldn't really expect the Lexus to be that far up, but Viper and Melvin, very seasoned drivers here at the SimZone. Ferrari's not doing as well as you thought they would. Likewise, McLaren seems to be okay. They're not the best here at Laguna Seca. They do struggle a bit more, but here we go, getting ready for the race start, and we are green. Looks like Kingy's got a much better start this time, and Seuss likewise. Both of them side by side coming down towards turn 1. Look how close. I think that was Melvin behind the Bentley of Lely, but they're going to have to keep it clean here coming through turn 2. And there we go. They've all kept it clean. Good to see. 2x2 formation. And we've got a McLaren off in the background. I think that may have been Pinocchio. Yes, he's really struggling with the McLaren today. And I think he may have kicked a bit of the... may have touched the outside curb there. And lost the car, unfortunately. But I believe King is still... no, Seuss is up into P1. Then King has lost the position off the race start. But he's going to stick there in P2 and try and hold his own here. Seuss off to a very good start. Already up into P1. Lely following in P3 with King in P2. Melvin in P4. Bubbles in P10. He's dropped down the order. What's happened to Bubbles? He's dropped down into P14. But look how many cars are coming through the corkscrew. I think there's been contact with Rapid Duck has made contact with one of the Mercedes. I think he made contact with Slow Wolf. I'm not too sure. He's actually got damage on the front of his car, not on the rear. Oh no, he has some damage on the rear of his car. But we'll leave that one to the stewards if there was any contact between the two. So still leading the race here. On to lap 1, officially lap 1 then. Kingy still close behind. Lely really having to fend off Melvin here coming into turn 2. And the 2 Lexus drivers in your rear view mirror is definitely not something that you'd want to be seeing. But Ethan in the 97 Ferrari doing a good job here. SVW as well in P7, sticking with this pack just up ahead. Lely and Melvin battling quite hard here early on. You can see they're losing time to Kingy and Seuss just up ahead. And that's I think that's Melvin slightly wide, kicking up a bit of the sand on the exit. He hasn't lost any positions. So he's still going to hold on here to P4. Viper running in P5. Ithan in P6. He's got SVW very close behind. And a Hanrahan. Oh, that's Seuss round, I think, through the corkscrew. And I think he may have taken the wrong line through the corkscrew. Got too early on the power one. He's going to lose a number of positions. Dropping back almost towards last position here. He's actually, no, he should be okay. I think he's just up in front of Kenny. So in P8 possibly, but that's going to promote Kingy into the race lead. Then he's got a bit of a buffer to Lely just behind. Melvin following closely as well. But let's go back down to Seuss, who's in the thick of it all now. He's got Deedee just up ahead. Currently running in P10 now is Seuss. Got Deedee just up ahead. Bubbles behind him. Rapid Duck very close as well behind these two. And Pinocchio closing the gap to Slow Wolf. They're going to be side by side coming down into turn 1. Is Pinocchio going to be later in the brakes? Yes, he is. And he's got the job done. Slow Wolf leaving him the rim on the inside. And Pinocchio up a position after his mistake there coming on the exit, on lap 1 on the exit of turn 2. So back to the race lead then. Kingy has still got Lely very close behind him. And that gap he had is coming down every single corner. Or every single lap. It's down to 4/10 now, coming down towards the corkscrew. Kingy taking quite a lot of curb on the inside, but look how close Lely is now, coming up towards the fast left-hander before the short straight down towards the penultimate corner here. The two Bentley drivers, P1 and P2, provisionally. You can see Melvin in the background already made his way up into P3. Good start there from Melvin. Ethan running in P5. He's on the back of Viper at the moment. I think he may have lost some time to Viper actually. No, it's still about 7 tenths between. Oh, it's a second now between those two. But he's got SVW still within attacking range. So he needs to be careful then. SVW very late on the brakes coming down towards turn 2. That's going to help with his exit. Oh, I say that. And he's picked up a bit of the sand there on the exit. Currently watching Rapid Duck now, who's in P11. Behind Bubbles in P10. Bubbles has got a slight gap to Seuss just up in front. But Seuss, as we saw, qualified on the front rows. Definitely got the pace. He's gone wide though. I think he kicked up some of the sand, and that's going to allow Bubbles to get the move done without any hassle. So Bubbles up into P9, Seuss down into P10. Not the best race start then from Seuss. Quite a few mistakes, but back to the race lead. These two still battling out, and they've broken away from Melvin slightly. They get 1.6 seconds to Melvin in P3. The Lexus just not able to keep up with the pace of the Bentleys around here. The Bentleys with some very good BOP here around Laguna Seca. Very, very good car. Likewise the Ferrari, Mercedes and Porsche. With only one Porsche here in Division 1, sorry. Deedee running in P12 at the moment. Kingy may have to go defensive here, coming down towards turn 2. The Andretti hairpin. But no, he doesn't need to. Lely not able to get the run coming down the straight, start-finish straight. Now Melvin closing the gap to these two. Once again, gap's about a second. You can see Viper and Ethan both in the background, so they're really closing the gap. Bubbles is side by side there with Rapid Duck. I think Seuss. Oh no, sorry, that was. Yes, he's made a mistake. So he's lost a couple of positions and he's behind Rapid Duck now. Doesn't seem to be any damage on his car, but possibly a bit rusty from being away from the wheel for quite a while. But that's Rapid Duck down the inside of Seuss. Seuss is going to have to leave the room, and good move there from Rapid Duck. But Seuss is going to try and go on the switchback. Hasn't worked off well. Kicked up a bit of the sand. And Bubbles is going to have to be patient here and just tuck in. There's just absolutely no room coming up towards the corkscrew now. The top two just separated by a tenth. Let's switch to them quickly. Oh, that's Lely trying to go around the outside there of Kingy. He's going to have the inside for the final corner. Melvin trying to find his way through, but he can't do anything at the moment. And Kingy's going to hold it around the outside, but Lely's going to have the inside coming down towards turn 1. Could Melvin try and follow Lely through here? He's pulled over to the inside of the track, and I think Melvin's best bet is to follow Lely through, but no, he's going to go for the outside. Kingy's still on the inside. No, Kingy on the outside now. Lely's got the job done, and Melvin wasn't able to follow him through there. He's going to have another look coming into turn 3. I don't think he's going to have that move done. So no, a 5-car battle then for the lead. Absolutely amazing battle we have in this first few laps of this race. Already on lap 5 actually. And Ethan running strong here, just sticking with these drivers up in front, and that's Melvin up the inside of Kingy. Kingy's had to leave the space here, and oh, we've had a retirement from the race. That is Bubbles then retiring from the race. So it's going to be a DNF for him. That's Melvin wide. He's lost the car and he can't get it together. He's spun the car there. Has to hold the brakes. Good job there from Melvin, but he's going to lose a lot of positions here, and he needs to be careful with the cars coming past him. Oh my god, one either side of him. But he's managed to get it going there. And it didn't make any sudden movements, but he's going to lose a position to Seuss as well. So Seuss getting past Melvin, and Melvin all the way down into P10 after his mistake. Lely and Kingy still P1 and P2, but Lely's opened up a 1.4 second gap. It might be more than that as they cross the line. I think it may be. There we go, 2-second gap to Kingy and P2. Kingy's going to have to defend here from Viper coming down towards turn 2. Viper's going to try the outside. No, he's going to have to settle there for P3. Doesn't want to open up the door to Ethan, who can take the inside, sorry. And Lely has now got that chance to pull away slightly from these cars behind him. Hanrahan and SVW within a second of each other. Now with Bubbles retiring, let's see where he currently is in the championship. He's currently sitting P13 in the championship. Has to be careful here, because if he keeps DNFing, it's not going to go well against his points. And he could possibly see himself being demoted into Division 2. Let's hope not. Usually drivers are only allowed to miss 3 races, but as we're nearing the end of the season, don't want to be moving people up and down, so we're leaving it as it is and just letting the promotion demotion system work. But Ithan very close to Viper, still coming down towards turn 2. The Ferrari really showing its pace here. I think this is Ithan's possibly one of his best positions. Let's see, check the standings. Ithan, yep, he's running in P4 at the moment, and his best finish this season has been a P4. So this bodes well here for Ithan at the moment. But Seuss and Kenny extremely close. It says 900ths, but I think Seuss has got the move done there on Kenny, and he's up into P7. So good job there from Seuss on a recovery drive. Likewise is Melvin, but he's got Slow Wolf very close behind him. Melvin with a good start to the race, and now it's gone horribly wrong for him, down in P12. But oh, that's Slow Wolf making a mistake on the exit there. I think he may have gotten a bit too early on the power, and he's lost the car and he's into the wall. Struggling to get it going, but there we go, back on track now. And he's going to be carrying some heavy damage on that Mercedes of his. Let's go back to this battle between Kingy, Viper and Ithan. So Hanrahan and SVW not too far back to these drivers just up ahead. They don't really want to be battling this early on because they can catch up to this pack. And I think that's what they're doing. The gap at the top between Kingy and Lely, 1.7 seconds. So it's stayed around about that for a lap or so now. Kingy has got a gap to Viper, and that's Ithan picking up some of the sand on the exit there. But he should be okay, he doesn't have to worry about Hanrahan just yet. Although he is closing in at a rate of knots here in the early stages of this race. Just 7 minutes, or just under 8 minutes left to go before the pit window opens. We'll see who is in the first, who's the first to dive into the pits. I assume Slow Wolf is going to be one of them. We want to get that damage repaired as soon as possible. Here we go, looks like there was a change in position. No, that was just the the tower updating there. And Hanrahan really closing onto the back of Ithan now, less than a second. The gap is coming down towards turn 2, the Andretti hairpin. And the Audi seem to be very strong here tonight as well. Hanrahan doing a good job. Currently running in P5, and he's looking to get another position on Ithan. Ithan's dropped off of Viper ever so slightly. You see in the background as well, SVW is still in contention, but Ithan's made a mistake. He's gone slightly wide. That's going to compromise his exit speed massively. And Hanrahan still not able to capitalise on that though. And look at the gap between Melvin and BST. It's just a 10th. I think Melvin's got the move done. Yes, he does. So good job there by Melvin getting the move done on BST NNA. Melvin's also on a recovery drive here after his spin. But Laguna Seca, a very demanding track here. You have to stay focused. And still not able to get past Ithan here. Lely still running up in P1, just 2 seconds to Kingy. But it hasn't really increased too much. It's been about 1.5 to 2 seconds, there or thereabouts. So Lely definitely can't rule out Kingy yet. And it's very early on in the race. The undercut is strong here in Division 1. We've seen it happen before. We've got TK Drifter in the comments saying good luck. Oh, good to see TK Drifter in the comments. Hanrahan still not able to catch right up to the back of Ithan. Ithan has picked up the pace slightly after Hanrahan has been able to catch up and close the gap to within a second. Coming through the corkscrew there, the Audi of Hanrahan just seems to be so much better. Now coming up towards the final corner, he's still not close enough to go for a move though. And SVW now dropping off the back of these two, not able to keep up with the pace of Hanrahan and Ithan. Pinochle, Kenny's made a mistake somewhere. He's down in P13, but Pinochle very close to him. 3/10 between these two drivers. Pinochle, I think, got some damage on that car, on that McLaren of his. But obviously the McLaren not the best car here at Laguna Seca. And it's evident by the two McLaren drivers running P11 and P14. But rear diffuser damage is... And he's got some front damage there on that McLaren of his. But yeah, rear diffuser damage really does take a toll on the McLaren's performance and handling. The gap at the top still 2.8 seconds. It has increased slightly, and I think King may have made a mistake. Some of the gaps come down to Viper. Viper is within a second now to Kingy. This could be interesting. Viper's too far back to make the move, coming down towards the final corner, but he's there. He's in the rear view mirrors of King, and King starting on pole position is now having to defend P2. Doesn't want to lose P2 here, but I think he's thinking about the long term. And look how close Hanrahan and Ithan are. I think Hanrahan's got past. No, but Ithan back through. It's a good job there by Ithan. Got the position back on Hanrahan. And he still sits in P4, but he's picked up a bit of the grass there. Not the grass, the sand. Look how close Melvin and Rapid Duck are as well. You can see them in the top right hand corner of your screen. Side by side coming to turn 2. But I think Rapid Duck is just going to hold on to that position. We'll go back to this battle between Kingy and Viper. Both these drivers extremely close to each other. Absolutely nothing separating them. Coming up towards the final few corners here. Let's keep the chat moving because we will have the Drive the Day votes in there at some point. And here we go. Viper having a look up the inside. Oh, I thought he made contact there with Kingy, and Melvin and Rapid Duck have made contact. Didn't quite catch that. Let's bring that up. But don't think, has Melvin returned the position? Yes, he has. There we go. An unfortunate contact between those two, but good sportsmanship from Melvin. And still, as it were, these two battling it out for P2, but they've lost a lot of time then to Lely out in front. Lely's opened the gap up to about 5 seconds. Really pulling away here, but one mistake cost him a number of positions. It's not what he wants, but Viper having a look around the outside. It's not really the place to go for a move there. It's all about focusing on the exit here at Laguna Seca. And possibly turn 2 the best place, one of the best places to get the moves done. And he seems to have got a nice exit there. King is definitely going to have to go defensive now, coming down towards turn 2. Here we go, down towards turn 2 now. No, Viper not able to get anything done, and Kingy just still sitting there. There we go, pit window is open. I assume these two would stay out. Viper may be wanting to go for the undercut. It's just quite difficult to call the pit, because you may come back out in traffic if you pit quite early. BST into the pits already. Rapid Duck following him in. So those two are pitting quite early then. Hanrahan, Ifan, Hanrahan and SVW still very, very close. SVW managing to catch back up to these two. Coming up towards the corkscrew then. All of them seem to have got through, where SVW with a nice exit through the corkscrew is really caught up to a Hanrahan. A Hanrahan with some really good pace at the start has slightly slowed down a bit because SVW is right on the back of him now. And he may just not want to be battling with Ithan up ahead, but he's going to have to think about defending now, coming down towards turn 2. We've got Jan saying what happened to Kenny. Not sure what happened to Kenny. He's down in P12 at the moment and battling for pretty much the final, or the last position, I think, with Pinochle, and he's lost that position. But Hanrahan looking down the inside on Ifan. Are they side by side yet? Yes, they are. Looks like Hanrahan has got the move done, and there we go, up into P4. And SVW looks like he's going to try for that move. No, he's had to back out of that one. Sensible driving there from SVW, and this is now promoted a Hanrahan up into P4. There we go, it's updated for us. We've got in the comments there Joe Fire saying this is PS5. No, it's the PS4 version, as Paul Mitchell just stated there. Here we go, these three still battling out. Let's look back to this battle for P2. Fresh Kingy and Viper still battling out, and they've been going at it for quite a few laps now, coming down towards turn 2 for the 16th time. And this has allowed Lely to open up a 6.5 second gap to these two. He's got quite a big gap, not to worry about anything really at the moment. He'll just be managing the tyres, because if you're not aware already, drivers have 2 sets of tyres which will last them the entirety of practice, quali and race. So if they do opt to change tyres, they'll be using a used set at some point in the race. But Viper not able to get past the mighty Bentley of Kingy just up ahead. Bentley, a very difficult car to pass, and with Laguna Seca being so narrow, Bentley almost takes up half of the track. And yeah, coming down towards the final few corners then, Kingy still holding on to P2. And let's look further down. Looks like Kenny has got back past Pinochle. Pinochle carrying some damage. Kenny doesn't seem like he's got any damage on his car, so I think he's lost it on his own somewhere. Carl, Mr. CJ. There we go. The driver of the day voting is open now, so make sure to have a look at that. Vote for your driver of the day once we get towards the end of the race, or you could do it now. Just vote for your favourite driver using the link in the comments. And oh, that's Pinocchio round, tagged the outside curb once again. And that's the issue with putting the throttle or getting one wheel on the outside curb. It flings you off the track. And especially with that damage that Pinocchio has, he's really not been able to keep the car under control. That's really unfortunate. You can see Ethan preparing his pit stop then. This could be, it could be next lap that he's going to pit. Or this lap he's on actually, sorry. But back to this battle, Kingy and Viper separated just by 4/10. Kingy has opened up the gap slightly, maybe Viper struggling with the tyres. We know the Lexus isn't great on the tyres at all, and Kingy with a late move into the pits. Nicely done there by Kingy, and Viper continues out on track. We'll see if Kingy changes his tyres or not. There's no way of us telling, but I assume he would. With such a high tyre deck track like Laguna Seca, you probably need to, but that's Ethan into the pits as well. And here is where the drivers start to spread out slightly. You can see there, Viper 7 seconds back to Lely. We're currently watching Lely now. It's coming up towards some traffic. I believe that's Kenny just up in front. We will have to get out the way. Blue flags will be waved for him. Neither driver Kenny nor Lely have pitted yet. And SVW has lost some time to a Hanrahan. 2.6 seconds. We'll see when they pit. Just 13 minutes left of the pit window to go. Yeah, if you haven't done so already, like I said earlier, make sure to vote for your driver of the day. There's a link in the comments at the moment. SVW still with about a 30-second gap to a Hanrahan. Seuss has made his way up the field after his spin in the corkscrew, I believe it was, on a few opening laps. But he's 3.5 seconds back to SVW. I think that's SVW wide actually. The gap's going to be much less now between those two. So Seuss could have a good chance here to gain a position on SVW. But could this be SVW's call to pit? You can see there a bit of a wiggle on the exit. Coming down the Rahal straight now. Oh wait, not now. There we go. Now onto the Rahal straight up towards the corkscrew. Gap has decreased between these two. 2.5 seconds it was, 1.8 now coming through the corkscrew. But the Mercedes of SVW looks really good through the corkscrew there. I think he may have pulled a gap slightly on Seuss. We'll see what's that update. May actually be less, I'm not too sure. It's quite hard to judge. See what it is when they cross the start finish line then. As they cross the line of Hanrahan and SVW and Seuss, sorry. Yep, 2.8 seconds it has increased. And that third sector is where the Mercedes seems to thrive here at Laguna Seca. There we go, Melvin now into the pits. Possibly not the best pit stop there for Melvin. You could just see him being raised on the jacks. Took him a slightly longer time than usual, and you can see his pit crew just changing the tyres there for him. So Melvin is changing tyres then. He should be out the pits soon. Hanrahan now diving into the pits with SVW 5 seconds behind. The gap between SVW and Seuss slowly coming down. That's Melvin with a stop go 30 for speeding in the pit lane. That's not going to be good for his championship, but I think he may have enough of a buffer to Viper in second. But the gap's definitely going to be coming down after this race. There we go, Hanrahan and, not Hanrahan, Seuss and Melvin side by side. Yep. But Seuss still yet to make his pit stop. Let's go to our race leader then, Lely, out in clean air. Doesn't have a thing to worry about, so he's going to stay out for as long as possible. Just 9 minutes left to go with the pit window. And now he's in. Now he's in. As soon as I flick to him. There we go. I think Melvin's had a crash. Melvin's binned the car somewhere. Where is he on track? He's P10. You can see he's got some damage on the front of his car. So a stop go 30 and a spin there for him. You can see a BST NNA just up ahead coming through the corkscrew, and I assume he's going to have to serve. He's going to serve it this lap. But Melvin with not the best race here tonight. Possibly the worst track for... No, he's continuing out. Possibly the worst track here for the Lexus. So I think it's just damage limitation for Melvin. Slow Wolf and Pinochle within a second of each other. This is the battle for last position. Kenny still yet to make his pit stop, and he was battling with Pinocchle's Pinochle, yeah, beforehand, before Pinochle made his mandatory stop. 4 drivers, well, 3 drivers now yet to make their pit stop. See where SVW comes out in comparison to a Hanrahan. Hanrahan's currently coming through the final corner. SVW has got moving. Could he jump him? It's going to be very close on pit exit. SVW is out. No! Hanrahan's got him there. And by quite a margin, actually. SVW is going to try and be as quick as he can coming through this pit exit, but Hanrahan is long gone already. Now I think the battle may be between Ifan and SVW. Ifan not too far behind him. We've had another retirement there. Melvin has retired the car. He's not going to be picking up any points today, so I think that will be him losing the championship lead after this round, because Viper, it is 55 points for a win. They might be tied on points then. If Viper can hold on to P2. But let's see where he comes out in comparison to Kingy. Looks like Kingy and Lely are very close. What's happened to Lely? He's had a mare somewhere, because he's dropped down. He had about a 6 or 7 second lead, I think, and now it's down to just a second, so I'm not sure what's happened there. But these two are now battling for the race lead. Where is Viper? Where will he come out in comparison to these two? Oh, he's just entered the pits then. So Kingy and Lely have still got the rest of their lap to go. Melvin saying someone is moving on the braking, make sure to report them to the stewards. Otherwise they'll continue doing it. But Lely really defending here for P2. And where is Viper? He's come out the pits now. This is going to be extremely close between Lely, Kingy and Viper. We're possibly going to have a 3-car battle for the race lead here. And where I think Viper might just know he's going to be side by side on exit. And he's going to be out careful here. Lely and Viper side by side. Lely's gone slightly wide. Viper's gone slightly wide there. Kingy, oh, with a bit of the sand on exit. And he's almost lost the car. But I think he kept it out of the wall there. He's lost some time there to Viper and Lely in front. And now 3-car battle for the lead. This is going to be interesting. And the championship could be lost for Melvin if Viper can keep it here in P2. And Seuss very close to SVW as well. Let's go to that battle quickly. Seuss on a recovery drive here after his spin in the corkscrew. Now on the back of SVW. Looking to make this move as soon as possible. Coming down the start-finish straight now. Gap at the top has increased to just over a second. Kingy has really dropped back after that slight mistake. Let's hope he can catch back up to the top 2. Under the brakes now for turn 2. Seuss definitely with a pace advantage here over SVW. Seuss trying everything he can to get past SVW, just about keeping the car within the track limits there. Seuss not able to get past just yet. SVW is going to have to go defensive. No, he's back over to the racing line. And now back up the hill yet again. Not really an overtaking place. Seuss is just going to sit behind for now. And SVW's gone wide. Seuss has been applying the pressure. They're going to be side by side now, coming up towards the corkscrew. And I think SVW's backed out of that. And Seuss up into P5. He's kept it clean through the corkscrew as well. So good move there by Seuss, capitalising on SVW's mistake. So let's go back to this battle. Viper still keeping Lely in sight. 9/10 is the gap between these two. And Viper's definitely not going to let him go. Viper can keep it into P2. Like, it's going to be tied going into next round with Melvin at the top of the championship, top of the standings. Sorry, but it's the battle for P1 is definitely still on here. Viper's going to do everything he can. Likewise, Lely's going to do everything he can to defend from Viper. Blue flags are being waved. I don't see. That would be the number 48 car of Rapid Duck just up ahead of them. Who's going to be lapped very shortly. Now with the top two being different manufacturers, so the Bentley and the Lexus, you can see where the Lexus gains, you can see where the Bentley loses, and vice versa. But neither driver really to catch nor pull away from each other. The gap's still about a second between the top two. They're 1.5 actually. Viper's started to open the gap.
Pit window is closing down.
These two seem to be the closest cars on track at the moment. Kenny down in P12, Knuckle still carrying on with that damage in P13. Slow Wolf running in no man's land. Hasn't really got any cars near him, but I think he's repaired the damage he had on his car earlier. And then Rapid Duck in P10 with Lely and Viper following close behind. But I don't think there's any blue flags at the moment. Nope, no blue flags just yet, but they're bearing down here on Rapid Duck just up ahead, and Viper has gained 5/10 through one of the corners there. The gap was around 1.5, 1.4, and it's now down to 1. May have increased just again slightly. And I think through Sector 2 is where Viper struggles, and that is Rapid Duck very deep into the corkscrew. There's definitely going to be blue flags waved now. And he's going to have to move over, possibly on the start-finish straight for these two. There we go, he's moved over to let Lely and Viper by. Good driving there, good racing etiquette from Rapid Duck. And neither driver, not Lely nor Viper, have lost any time from that encounter. So still as it were, Lely in first and Viper in P2. Still separated here by just under a second, or just over a second now. Kingy hasn't really been able to close the gap either between himself and Viper. Still about 2.7 seconds. The top two, slight mistake there from Viper, running slightly wide. And there we go, once again Rapid Duck moving over for Kingy, who's running in P3 at the moment. And after his mistake, really hasn't been able to close the gap to the top two. But all these top three drivers lapping very quickly, I assume, in the 123s. Let's actually go on board and see what lap times they are doing. Here we go, we can see now that King is doing 124s. His last lap, his best 123s. Not sure if that's the same for Viper and Lely. Let's have a look. So, yep, lapping in the 124s and best 123s as well. And how about Lely here? Best lap in the 123s, and he's lapping in the 123s as well, so quicker than Viper in the later stages of this race. Lely could be on the fresher set now. It's hard to tell. Melvin in the comments saying left again because he's way behind, and 30-second stop go. Fortunate result there for Melvin. Could have gained some points though, possibly some points for P13 or even P12, maybe even higher than that, but also had some damage on his car. But yeah, it's going to be close in the championship towards the top between Viper and Melvin. And how far back is Lely at the moment in the championship? He is 75 points, so Lely is going to be very close, as is Kingy. The championship battle, I think, is going to come down towards the last round at Spa. But we've still got a few rounds to go. Currently on round 6, and there's 8 rounds in the season. So round 7 next week. Just 2 more weeks left of the championship here for season 4 of the GT3 championship at the SimZone. Gap at the top still 1.5 seconds. Kingy has lost a lot of time. Hanrahan has actually caught up to him. Hanrahan with a great drive here tonight has really been putting in the laps. Kingy has maintained the gap to Viper, but Hanrahan somewhere has found this time. He's really caught up to the back of Kingy now. This could be a battle to look out for in the final few laps of this race. Kingy's going to definitely be checking his rearview mirrors every now and then. And he's run wide slightly. Gap at the top still 1.2 seconds. It's there. It hasn't really been changing too much. And all it takes is one mistake from Lely for him to lose the race lead. Coming up towards the corkscrew now. Let's go on board here with Kingy. See there, Hanrahan just behind him. Definitely ready to pounce on any mistakes that Kingy makes. But he's going to want to catch up, get as close to Kingy as possible, keep on the pressure. Kingy just maintaining the gap to Hanrahan, not really letting him get close, but they are encountering some traffic now just up ahead. Blue flags are going to be waved. You can see there on the right hand side, blue flags are being waved. Here's one of the McLarens, I think that is Pinocchio just up ahead, and he spun coming through the corkscrew. Went a bit too deep, a bit late on the brakes. Unfortunately lost the car then. See the sun now. It's going to be in the driver's eyes coming through that final corner. And there's BST NNA just up ahead in the McLaren. Just going to stay on board here with Kingy for a while. These two seem to be the closest on track at the moment. Actually, before we do that, let's have a look at the gap between Viper and Lenny. Still a second between those two, and no one else seems to be any closer. So we'll keep an eye on that battle. Here we go, Hanrahan still within a second to Kingy just up ahead. Oh, there's been some contact. I think that was Lenny and Viper. So they've both lost some positions. That promotes Kingy and Hanrahan up into P1 and P2. Viper and Lenny down into P3 and P4. That really changes things now, and I'm sure Melvin's going to be happy with that. But the championship's going to be so close going into the second round, the penultimate round. Sorry, that would be Kailami, and Kingy sitting 79 points currently behind Melvin, and with a win that is 60 points. So only 19 points then the difference would be between those two coming into round 7. If Kingy can maintain P1, and I'm sure if he can, he's going to be extremely happy, because starting on pole position, didn't have the best start, lost a couple positions off the start, but he's gained it now, and a Hanrahan up into P2. But Lely, don't know if he's going to be happy with that. You can see he's got some slight bit of damage there on the rear of his car, and Viper knew he was at fault, so he returned the position. But unfortunately, that is racing, and that promotes Kingy up into P1. But it's not over yet. Hanrahan is still there. Kingy can't rule him out here. But just 6 minutes left to go. He's going to have to defend for his life here. I'll just try and keep that gap at a second, manage the gap, and he should be okay. Viper and Lely still very, very close. And Lely's lost 5 seconds to a Hanrahan. Look at the sun there. Completely blinding. Especially through the final corner here at Laguna Seca. Got Viper with his headlights on then. Coming up towards the hill. He's still not close enough to make a move. Running slightly wide there. Kept the car under control, and the gap at the top is coming down. 8 tenths. Kingy's going to have to defend 6 tenths, or 7 tenths pretty much. I think Kingy may have to start defending very soon. 2 separate battles going on here. One for the race lead, and the other for the final podium position. But Hanrahan's going to have a difficult time getting past that Bentley, even if he does catch up. Look in the background, you can see Lely and Viper still battling it out. Viper not close enough to go for a move as of yet. But he's going to be eager with just 5 minutes left of the race. Time is running out for both Hanrahan and Viper. But getting past the Bentley on a narrow track isn't the easiest of things to do. Let's go on board here with Hanrahan. Got Esther in the comments saying, come on Kingy, you've got this. He's definitely got the pace to hold off Hanrahan. That sun's going to be blinding. We are here at sunset. It's 8 PM here at Laguna Seca. 4 minutes left to go. That's possibly 3 more laps. 3 or 4, we shall see. Doing a good job here at holding off for Hanrahan. Could it be the tyres that are letting him down? He definitely had the pace advantage at the start of the race. You can see they're just moving the car to the middle of the track, possibly trying to break the toe. Really trail braking it into this left-hander. Coming up towards the hill and he's got a bit of the sand. He has to be careful, but this isn't really an overtaking spot for Hanrahan. Coming down the Rahal Straight, or up the Rahal Straight, towards the corkscrew, encountering some traffic as well. I think that may be Kenny. Blue flags are being waved then. Kenny a bit too far ahead though at the moment. He's got some time to move out the way. And King is really going to have to be defending now. He's got to be looking in the rearview mirrors. But Hanrahan isn't at attacking distance just yet. Can't go for a lunge coming down towards turn 2. And if you're wondering why I'm saying turn 2, this little King down this straight, as we go left here, is classed as turn 1, and the Andretti hairpin here is turn 2. Kenny's going to have to move out the way very shortly on the next straight, I assume. Blue flags are being waved for him. And there we go, moves out the way very sensibly there. Doesn't cause any time loss for either Kingy or Hanrahan. We'll go trackside once again, then you can see these two still battling it out for the race win here. And if I haven't mentioned already, Kingy using the SimZone Bentley setups, which put him on pole position, and he's currently leading the race. But Hanrahan with a much better exit. He's got nowhere to go though, coming up towards the corkscrew. Kingy is just placing his car exactly where it needs to. It's gone slightly deep, but no, it hasn't affected him at all. We'll go back trackside off the helicam. It's going to be extremely close between these two. It's going to come down to the wire here. Kingy's going to need to defend for his life coming up towards the final corner. Hanrahan having a look up the inside, bit of a late move. He's not going to get that one done. Kingy's going to hold on, but Kingy's going to have to go defensive now coming up towards turns 1 and 2. Hanrahan really eager to get this move done. He's going to have a late look down the inside. I think he may have it. No, Kingy's going to try and hold it round. Oh, there's contact between the two. I think Hanrahan just caught the inside curve there. He's going to have to return the position as he does, but this is allowed. Look at this. This is allowed Lely, Viper, all into the mix. So a 4-car battle for the lead on what I believe may be the last lap. Unbelievable scenes here. The last lap, and Kingy is now being pushed by Lely. Unbelievable. So much drama going on. So much action here, but Kingy's going to defend the inside. I think Lely's going to have to settle behind him just for now. Kenny just up ahead is going to have to move out the way very shortly, because if not, he's going to be holding up these 4 behind him. I assume he's going to do so after the corkscrew. Blue flags are being waved, but Kingy going defensive coming up towards the corkscrew. And that's a hand-to-hand down the inside of Lely coming into the corkscrew. Still side by side. A hand-to-hand not leaving him any room there. It's been a bit of contact. A hand-to-hand still on the outside. I know he's lost the position there. Don't think that was Lely's fault. I think that's just hard racing between the two. A hand-to-hand not leaving a huge amount of room there for Lely. And there we go. Kenny moving out of the way. But 4-car battle for the race lead. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, they crossed the line. I think this is actually it. There we go. Kingy finishing in P1, just about holding off Lely in P2, a hand P3, and Viper in P4. Unbelievable. Seeing Seuss just 2.6 seconds behind in P5. Good recovery drive from him. P6, SVW. Ethan's still got a few corners to go. How much towards the final corner, actually, in P7. That's Rapid Duck just up ahead of him, 2 laps down. And there we go, Ethan finishing in P7. Deedee still got a couple corners to go, but he's going to finish in P8. Slow Wolf coming through the final corner in P11. Rapid Duck in P10. Kenny in P12 and Pinochle in P13. Flashing lights there from Slow Wolf. And just waiting for Deedee to cross the line, and we'll get the full results here of tonight. There we go. Fresh Kingy taking the race win here. P1 for him, Lely in P2, and a Hanrahan in P3. And it's going to be very close coming into round 7 for the GT3 Championship here at the SimZone. It's definitely going to come down to the wire, especially towards the last round at Spa. But look how close the deltas are between the top 4. There we have it. Then that is your race results for Division 1. Let's quickly bring up the drive of the day here for... Oops, that's the wrong one. Bring up the drive of the day here for Division 1. Let's check the results and bring them up now. Here we go then. The results for the drive of the day for Division 1. A Hanrahan, rightfully so, taking the drive of the day with 5 votes. Ifan on 2, Kingy on 2, Lely on 2, Kenny on 2, Viper on 1, and Seuss on 1. But, there we go. That is your race for Division 1. Make sure to tune in on Tuesday for the Porsche Super Cup. We may or may not have a stream. We shall see on the day. I'm sure we will. But until then, have a great evening, and we'll see you then. Good night.